How's it going, everyone? This is DoctorJefe, and welcome to part 3 of the Mother of Us All Achievement Run. And I am super excited to bring you back here when we are going to be reforming the Bori faith, because we are still playing as our starting ruler, Daurama Daura. Like, that's super awesome. She's 79 years old, in poor health, but she's held out right around 73, 74. It switched to poor health, which does give a % chance for her to die every year, but she has held on. You know, we got a lot of buffs from the Witch Coven, strong, athletic, whole of body, healthy. All these things have been keeping her around, and we now have enough piety as well as these learning lifestyle perks. So you got to go down this Theologian track. Get faithful, zealous, proselytizer, religious icon, and prophet. Prophet gives you faith, creation, and reformation cost minus 50%. That is huge. Now, an update since last time. We have been expanding. We were able to vassalize to Bestie. Unfortunately, unable to vassalize Kanem. They are still holding out with -2. I mean, it's just this whole thing. Once they become a king, it's so hard to vassalize them. This -50. Oh, I'm a king. I'm annoyed that it's still that holdover from Crusader Kings 2, where once someone becomes a king, it's so hard to vassalize them, even if they are your de jure vassal. So how do we get all of this piety? Mostly through hosting feasts. You can see we have a decision right up here to host a feast. We went on a pilgrimage, which gives us that plus 10%, as well as that huge piety boost, as well as fighting raiders. So make sure whenever raiders come from, non-Bori nations, that you go out there and fight them. That gives you a pretty huge chunk of piety for winning battles against them. Also, another thing I wanted to update you on is what I've been doing culture-wise. Very quickly, you get to become the head of the Hausa culture. So what I've been doing is I've first focused on the onagers. That is huge. Getting those men-at-arms really makes these wars go more quickly. I have 2 groups of them, size 3 currently. My next focus is on mustering grounds, so I can increase the size of those. We'll have 10 each, so not 10, 5 each, so 100 onagers, which will make these wars go very quickly. It's been super helpful in our invasion of Yoruba land, taking those lands, as well as our taking lands off of what was Igbo, I believe the Duchy of Igbo land. Right, so now we have all of the holy sites. You can see that also has been giving us a lot of boosts to our ruler. But yeah, that's the update. We're continuing to expand, but what we need to do now is reform the Bori faith. So let's click over here. Great thing is that all of our vassals will convert at the same time. If they didn't want to, we could send them a gift. We have so much gold. Plus, we also have the perk that increases the opinion gained from sent gold by 100%. So let's change the tenets up. So what we're going to want to do is get tenets that make it easy to spread our religion. Now, just to remind you all, the achievement is to reform an African pagan faith and convert all counties in Africa to it. So we're going to want to get tenets that help this faith spread. And the most important one is the mendicant preachers. County conversion speed, plus 33. I assume this is plus 33%. Or it may just be a flat plus 33. That'd be awesome as well. But this is the one that really makes it easy to convert other counties. So we're going to want to grab that. Another thing we're going to want to grab is the sanctioned false conversions. This increases the conversion resistance of counties of your faith, which is going to be useful when we get low fervor, heresies pop up, or if for some reason our empire splits apart or someone takes lands from us, it will be much more difficult for them to convert our lands. Another thing I'm going to want to grab is the warmonger. This will allow us to expand much more quickly. And in fact, my expansion has been kind of slowed because of the fact that I've been waiting for this too long offensive war opinion modifier to go away. So grabbing warmonger, you get the at peace opinion, negative malice, instead of the offensive war opinion. I think it'll be fine. We're probably always going to be at war with someone. is just what you do in this game, especially as a tribal ruler. So I'm going to grab that one. Other things you could think about grabbing would possibly be Islamic syncretism. So this means that other Islamic faiths consider us to be hostile instead of evil. So you can see that there's a lot of Islamic faiths. We have the Ash'ari, Mu'alladism, Abadi up here. But I don't think it's that strong. I don't feel as though we are going... Oh yeah, another nice thing is that, if you click out of here and click back into it, it saves the things that you've already selected. But I don't think we're going to be, too worried about dealing with Islamism, dealing with peasant rebellions. I mean, there's so many peasant rebellions, but they're so easy to put down in this game as compared to a game like Europa Universalis 4. So that's not something we're going to grab. Another thing could be reincarnation. This also gives you county conversion resistance, but we already have county conversion resistance through sanctioned false conversions. I don't think we need to double up on it. We could go pursuit of power. This also gives you the invasion casus belli and conquest casus belli, but it does give you -10 vassal opinion. So I'm thinking warmonger is probably a better one for us. So let's look at the doctrines. So we're going to want to change view on gender to female dominated. That's already kind of how our country is being run. If we look over here, we see that we have a female preference. We could do it as equal, but we really don't want our lands to split up as much as we can. We want to make sure that it stays with only our primary heir. And we have Confederate partition, so... I mean, if we look at our main character, we have 9 children, one of them that passed away. So if we had males as heirs as well, we're going to have to be giving out so many more duchies, which is not really that big of a problem since we expand so quickly, but it could be a problem once we get to having multiple empire titles, enough lands to create multiple empires that could be split up during Confederate partition. So we're just going to keep it as female dominated. That goes with the female preference. It's just makes it easier to work with. In terms of religious attitudes, so pluralist, you see that county conversion speed -20. No, we're going fundamentalist. County conversion speed +20. Now we're going to have much higher negative opinion penalties, but it does make it easier to revoke lands from those infidels and convert those lands. So, while we may have peasant uprisings more often, at least we'll be converting those lands more quickly. Now, we could change the head of faith from spiritual to none. That could be nice and keep making sure that our fervor doesn't go below 25%, less likely for heresies to pop up. But, it could be kind of fun to have our own Bori Pope, so we don't really need to change this. Marriage type, go from consorts and concubines to monogamous. This will also make sure that we don't have too many children. The fact that we had so many children is because we had so many consorts as well as our spouse. I don't think consorts really provide you with that much of a bonus, so changing it over to monogamous, it seems fine. Divorce, always allowed is great, that's fine. Legitimization we don't really care about. Consanguinity, we also don't care about. Keeping witchcraft accepted, that's great since we have our witches coven. We could change the adultery, but I actually kind of like it being criminal, because then once it gets found out, we can throw those people in jail and ransom them off for gold. Although, as you can see, gold isn't really a problem for our ruler. Clerical gender, well, let's allow either. Good benefit from this is that we can give either our daughters as well as our sons the ability to go into the church. I believe this does allow you to make them take the vows, so that could be useful in reducing the amount of people who will be part of our succession. And I believe that's all the things that we really care about in here. It's going to cost us 4,050. You can see we have 4,251. The real reason we were able to get here was because of our leader's long life. Definitely shows how beneficial the whole of body perk tree is, in that it keeps your leader alive this long. And she's looking great. I would say she's looking great. Can we get that close-up look again? Yeah, here we go. Like, she doesn't look too bad for being 79 years old in, you know, year 921. So yeah, that is what we're going to do. Let's click the Reformed Faith. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. Let me know if there's something that you would have chosen instead. But here we go. Can never be changed once it's been reformed. That's fine. So as you can see, we have, you know, the Reformed Bori. Basically anywhere where our vassals were immediately gets converted. Unfortunately, we have lots of lands that are now Old Bori, but we can now take them off of gaining us more piety per month and turn them into converting the faith. And you can see it goes pretty quickly. The Mendicant Preachers gives a nice bonus, as well as our Fundamentalist Fervor. And she's a zealous proselytizer, so we're going to convert this within 6 years. That's nice. That's fine. And yeah, soon all the lands within our nation will convert into the new Bori, or the Reformed Bori. So what are our next steps from here after reorganizing the faith? We're basically going to continue to expand. And at some point, the next thing we're going to want to do is embrace feudalism. Now we have Bori as an organized faith. We can very quickly get over here to pass absolute tribal authority. We have, you know, tons of prestige for it. But the one thing we do need to get is all tribal era innovations. And this is why it's important to grab this scientific perk. It increases the cultural fascination progress, which means that you unlock those cultural innovations more quickly. We have, it says 6 out of 20, but basically we still need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more of those innovations, which will take a while, maybe like another 100 years or so, but at some point we'll embrace feudalism, get out of Confederate partition, which will allow us to take all of these empires and start converting those lands. So yeah, that is our current plan. And let's just make sure our succession, our succession is going well. As you can see, a lot of titles are going to our main heir, who also has a huge amount of land for herself anyway. So we don't really have to worry too much about our next succession. So yeah, I hope that you all found this video to be helpful and informative. Let me know if there's any other differences you would have chosen when you choose to reform the Bori faith, or if there's any tips you can give me on continued expansion. But until next time, I hope that you are enjoying your run of Mother of Us All, and she is an amazing Mother of Us All. She's got 9 children. Her daughter has 10 children. You can look at our dynasty. We have 50 living members. We started from 2 to 50 with only 54 years. That's a huge expansion. So yeah, keep on enjoying this run, enjoying your run of it, and until next time, do remember to take care of yourself.